welcome and thank you for being here today. I know this time of the year construction is probably one of the last things that everybody wants to talk about because it's kind of winding down, as you can hear the noises outside. But there is a major transportation project that's forthcoming on the southeast part of Sioux Falls, and we want to just give you a heads up as to and an update on to where that project is. In 2012, the South Dakota Department of Transportation, the Federal Highway Administration, the Metropolitan Planning Organization, and the City of Sioux Falls began work on the I-229 26th Street and Southeastern Avenue reconstruction study. The result of that study is a project which will construct a bridge over the railroad tracks on 26th Street and also make improvements to the interchange of 26th Street and I-229, otherwise known as Exit 5, and that will improve safety and reduce delay. Since the new bridge, when we go over the railroad tracks, the existing entrance into Rotary Park will be eliminated. And thus, Rotary Park will be relocated from the east side of the river to the west side. The bid date for this project is in January, but site work will begin in the near future. And now I'm going to turn it over to Don Carney, the Director of Parks and Recreation, who will discuss the park relocation project.
Thank you, Chad. Certainly, we're thrilled about the Rotary Park development project. We're not only thrilled about the relocation of the amenities within Rotary Park, because Rotary Park actually consists of the land on both sides of the river north of 26th Street. And so to be able to relocate those improvements, which will all be brand new, on the west side of the river will be a great enhancement to our Parks and Rec system. But we're also equally enthused about the East 26th Street corridor improvements that Chad had just mentioned. Obviously, parks are important to us, but getting our people to the parks are important as well. And so it's an equally exciting project for our department. Some of the amenities that we'll relocate from the east side to the west side include a picnic shelter, a new playground, a new restroom. We will have an enhanced canoe and kayak launch area. We'll also have new landscaping, trees, shrubs throughout the entire project site. And then one of the other things that's really exciting about these improvements is that we'll have a new pedestrian bridge across the Big Sioux River. And so folks will be able to use Rotary Park on the west side of the river, but they'll also be able to get back to the east side of Rotary Park and also have connection to the River Greenway Trail System, which is a very important amenity to not only current Rotary Park users, but also we anticipate that they'll continue to use it in the future. As Chad mentioned, part of the construction and the kickoff to this project is the clearing of the site on the west side of the river, where the new Rotary Park proper will be. And so as part of that, there will be some clearing of the trees in the site to make room for the new park improvements, which will happen next spring. And then by the end of the 2018 season, we anticipate that Rotary Park will be completed, and the balance of the East 26th Street corridor improvements will continue on. As Chad mentioned, the current entrance into Rotary Park is right next to the railroad tracks. And in order to raise the bridge over the tracks, we won't have access to that entrance on the east side of the park. And so ultimately, we will continue to use the improvements that are on the east side. There's still some useful life left in those. But ultimately, the parking lot that you see there in the driveway there, that will ultimately come out, and it'll be replanted into green space for the future once the rest of the project on East 26th Street rolls out. So again, we appreciate everybody involved, the state of South Dakota, Chad, City Engineering and Public Works Departments, and all the consulting engineers that were part of this project to really make sure that we had great park improvements in Rotary Park, and it continued to be a very highly used facility within our park system. So with that, I turn it back over to Chad.
All right, thanks, Don. Now just, I think, some more comments about the overall project at 26th and Southeastern and Exit 5. That work will be bid in late 2018, and construction will start in 2019. The plan right now is that we will maintain traffic on 26th Street during the construction process. In 19, southeastern, south of 26th Street will be closed to traffic. And then in 2020, southeastern north of 26th Street will be closed to traffic. So again, we're not here to, I guess, get into the nuts and bolts of what's going to happen in 19 and 20. Today we're focusing more on what's on bat for Rotary Park, but the project is coming. We've done a lot of work. Everybody that Don mentions has done a lot of work both on Rotary Park and on the transportation improvements. And that work, again, will start in 2018, and it will be a 2-year construction project. With that, if there's a ton of information at www.26streetcorridorstudy.com. Shannon said this morning it's jam full of information, so renderings, all the history up to date, and that website will continue to be maintained for the next several years as we move through the different phases of the project and ultimately have it reopened sometime in 2020. So